The honorable judge starts. We return to day 6 of our trial. We will hear our closing arguments from both sides. Defense, you will go first. Defense, you will go second. I believe it's a maximum of 6 minutes?
Yeah, it's 4 to 6.
Yeah, 4 to 6 minutes. All right. So at this time, you can address the jury. Jury, this is your last chance to hear kind of their final remarks before you render your decision. At this time, the prosecution, you have the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, thank you for lending us your time today to finish the trial of the Mongol Empire. As you know, today we're going to be discussing 2 questions. Were the Mongols uncivilized conquerors, and were they ineffective administrators? To start, the Mongols were excessively cruel. We have heard that in war they would show no mercy to anyone in or out of their path. Their uncivilized battle tactics, including killing people even after they surrendered, milking the fat off the people they killed to use as weapons, cutting off people's heads and throwing them to scare others, and using prisoners as human shields, and burning entire villages of innocent people just to make a statement. We have heard from many witnesses attesting to their cruel tactics. Midzislav III testified on the stand about his gruesome murder by suffocation while the Mongols celebrated. He told us of 2 survivors in his city left to complete rubble. Or in Amistadam's case, when he had an empty threat in response to the Mongols' aggression, the Mongols cruelly responded by burning their entire civilization to the ground, including all of their religious buildings. These atrocities are only 2 examples of the plethora of violent offenses the Mongols have committed. Some people, like Pope Innocent, who were affected negatively by the Mongols, wanted to expose what they were doing and ask them to stop. So when John Carpini was sent to the Mongol court to ask them to stop, he found out what exactly the Mongols did. In document 3, John Carpini states, if they cannot capture it in this way, they will refire the follow. Sometimes even take the fat off the people they kill, melting it, throw catapult it onto the houses, and wherever the fire falls on this fat, it's almost indistinguishable. If that does not affect you anyway, here's Genghis Khan, the founder of the Mongol Empire's version of happiness. The greatest happiness is to vanquish your enemies, to chase them before you, to rob them of their wealth, to see those dear to them bathed in tears, to clasp to your bosom your wives and daughters. If these actions and events don't seem barbaric in what is, ladies and gentlemen, the Mongols were not only brutal, as you know already, they were also very ineffective administrators. The only way the Mongol Empire was able to rise to power was by dying and killing millions of people. For example, Ivan I was told that Alexander was told that when he joined the empire, that he'd be able to overthrow Alexander of Tver and gain his territory. But it wasn't until years later that he actually got it. Ivan also helped the Mongols take over the other major territories of Russia, like Suzhou and Ryazan, but he never got those either. Or Marco Polo, he joined the Yuan dynasty, but he couldn't leave Kublai Khan's side, not even to go back to see his own family. He was only allowed to leave when he helped the Mongol Empire with their deep and escorting the Mongolian princess to Persia. The Mongols also weren't able to last very long because of all the civil wars and some groups of people. For example, Kutuz, who was a military leader in the battle on Angelou. This battle was a major turning point against the Mongols, and one of the major reasons they fell. Another reason why they fell so soon was because of the Black Death. This is one of the deadliest diseases known to man, and it was the Mongols' fault it spread. There were fleas and mice on trading ships that were infected with this disease and then gave it to the people on board. This happened with the trade with the Mongols and the Europeans, which would have never happened if it wasn't for the Mongols. When the Silk Road was reopened, there were so many people and animals that got infected on this road that it spread even more. But when the Mongols got infected, they did something extremely cruel. They would catapult their own people over walled cities and that didn't join them. Disease not only shrank the population of the world, but the Mongols too. The Mongols also had a system with their troops and soldiers. If 2 or 3 people from a group of 10 rebelled or ran, all of those troops would die. A group of 10, and if all 10 of those troops would rebel or run away, a group of 100 would die. And when a group of 100 would run away or rebel, a group of 1,000 would die. This is why the Mongols were very ineffective administrators. Genghis Khan was the reason all of these things ever even happened. He was the one who lied and killed his empire to power just because of his own god. Overall, the Mongols were very ineffective rulers and excessively brutal warriors. They would kill their own troops, lie to their allies, and lasted a very short time. They were super brutal in their fighting by burning bodies and killing absolutely everyone. Even though other people at this time did stuff like this, it was never to this scale. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the court, for hearing me and my colleagues present an overwhelming amount of evidence as why the Mongols are guilty of being uncivilized conquerors and ineffective administration. I hope that you will bring the Mongols to justice.
All right, chance for our defense to give your closing remarks.
In this court case, Genghis Khan and the Mongol Empire have been indicted on 2 charges. One being uncivilized conquerors, and 2 having an ineffective administration of the empire. My colleagues Husal, Alex Hazelwood, and Aiden Rogers and I will be defending Genghis and his empire who were wrongly accused of these 2 indictments. Thank you, Your Honor, and the jury for profoundly appreciate your time. The Mongols weren't barbaric. You might look at them and say they fought like savages, but deep down they were civilized people. After Mongolia was united by Genghis Khan, he started taking over lands around him through imperialism and implemented ingenious things into his society. For instance, he created the first ever postal system that was called the Yam system. Additionally, he forbade the selling and kidnapping of women, banned the enslavement of any Mongols, practiced religious tolerance within civilization, ordered the adoption of a writing system, and encouraged international trade. The Mongols weren't always the barbaric people you think of, and there was actually a time of peace within the Mongol Empire called Pax Mongolica. This lasted for 100 years, and because the Mongols had such a vast territory, they could guarantee the security of the people within. Additionally, Document 7 adds, the evidence of the conquerors and travelers enables us to identify the striking changes wrought on Mongol morality by Genghis Khan's legislation, Tivani Commons, that Genghis Khan rooted out adultery and theft. War, strife, bodily harm, or murder do not exist. Robbers and thieves on a grand scale are not to be found amongst them, remarks Plano Caprini. And for this reason, their houses and the carts in which they store their wealth have neither lost nor gold. However, the Mongolian Empire did not stop there. Kublai Khan is one of the grandchildren of Genghis Khan. With Mongolia unified, Kublai followed in Genghis' footsteps and proceeded to conquer China. In doing so, he replaced the Song dynasty with the new Yuan dynasty. There he experimented with the first ever paper money called flying cash. The experiment went very well, and it led to the adoption of paper money throughout the world. Furthermore, after the creation of the Yuan dynasty, there was a golden age in China, where people there practiced advanced mathematics, astronomy, science, and more. Kublai Khan also established the Yam system throughout China and opened up trade routes so all of Eurasia was connected. These 2 people and their structure alone show that the Mongols were always fighters, naturally civilized people. Additionally, Ivan I, Grand Priest of Kiev, had a great relationship with the Mongols. It also shows the Mongols were kind people. Furthermore, Marco Polo, who was a nation traveler and merchant, was treated with generous hospitality by Kublai Khan. It shows that the Mongols were not uncivilized conquerors and that they didn't have an ineffective administration of their empire. If you think of Britain and you say there are a lot better conquerors than Mongols, I also point out there weren't barbaric. There are a lot of places this argument could go wrong. Starting, Britain didn't even care about your religion or as Mongols did. Britain also invaded people's homes and slaughtered natives. For example, they took the Maxim gun over to Australia and New Zealand and leveled their native population, religions, and languages. The Mongols were overall better conquerors. For instance, if they didn't know how to administer an area, they kept the same political leaders to run it instead of ending in disasters. Additionally, they took artisans, craftsmen, leather workers, farmers, etc., and spread them all over their empire to help with making giant buildings in the Yuan dynasty, to crafting expensive silk material, and more. A good analogy would be the Mongols were like a phoenix. They spread their wings and covered Eurasia in a blanket of protection, innovation, culture, and a legacy, before arising from the ashes to do it again. Ultimately, the Mongols were imperialists, and time again, throughout history, this will always happen. The Mongols supported trade throughout the world. They brought ideas and things from different countries and areas of Eurasia and combined it with other items from a different area that spread culture all over. Like the phoenixes and dragons that first appeared in Chinese history originally came from Persia. The Mongols ultimately made Eurasia better with the first social service, golden age in China, paper money, and they gave women a significant amount of rights within the Mongols Trial. Including this short case, the Mongols weren't uncivilized conquerors and they didn't have an ineffective administration at their time.
All right, here in just a second, the jury is going to step out into the hall. Isaac, I think I put you in charge of the jury, is that correct? Okay, so Isaac is gonna be in charge of the jury. You're gonna discuss, and I would discuss these excellent closing arguments, by the way. Both sides did an excellent job, very well done. So you guys can kind of debrief that, then start contemplating the different witnesses that we've heard, who created really strong arguments, where are you leaning on that, and then you guys will have to decisions on both cases, are they civilized, uncivilized conquerors, and were they ineffective administrators of the empire. While they're in the hall, Silas, you're going to lead a discussion in here. You guys will be a little bit more biased, I'm sure, but trying to remove those assigned roles as best you can and discuss how would you, if you were the jury, ultimately find the Mongols, would they be guilty or would they not? Again, you'll probably find it a little bit more challenging because you've been assigned that role to render an unbiased verdict. All right? So I'll be floating back and forth. At this time, all rise. Jury, can please step out in the hall?
You guys' job is just to talk good. I think I did. Well, you guys have two partners.
You may be seated. Yeah, I like it. Go ahead and take a second and tell each other good game. Are we out in the stream?